Hello my darlings, how are you? I hope that you're well. It's been quite a bit of time, hasn't it? Well, I always say that, don't I? I suppose it's not really been all that long. I wanted to share a little video, and so we'll get started, but I wanted to grab my cup of tea first. Okay, I don't know if you ever saw this, but this is, do you see, this is Chinsigate Hill, and it's the manor house that's a historic site here in my little town. And see, this is bone china from England. I ordered it from England, and so it says the Carter settlement. And yeah, I have a bit of Earl Grey in here. So yeah, I wanted to show you those will be at the tea room, and they'll be lovely because they my little tea room, you know, I'm planning to have a tea room, and I've been collecting all of the sorts of bone china from England, and to have for all of the tea sets. I've got the teapots and everything. I think I may sell a few. I've got 4 teapots and these teacups and all of that to go with them. So I think I may sell 2 and keep 2. I don't know for sure, but they were a bit pricey, let me tell you. They were quite extraordinary in price, plus the shipping was absolutely bonkers, you know. I've got, I believe it's afternoon grey. There's the kittens, they hear me. It's raining outside the cottage, so the kittens are, I always call them kittens. It just sounds cute to me, you know. And it reminds me of like Beatrix Potter, you know, when she talks about the tale of Tom Kitten, and that's why I named the tale of. So we're just going to have a little, we're just going to have a little prattle, okay? So what I've been up to and all that sort of thing. But like I said, it sounds as though it's very much like Beatrix Potter. You know, she says, the tale of Tom Kitten. That's why I named my book about the feral kittens and my abandonment and all of that. It's a bit of a cute story to share with children about abandonment. And it's a lovely, quite charming way of talking to them about abandonment. So it's absolutely good for, you know, adults as well. But it's called The Tale of Molly Kitten. And if you watch my, oh, that is so good. I just have to keep drinking it, you know. It's so scrumptious. And I made a loaf of homemade bread, so it is over on the corner on the dresser, and it's rising right now. It's halfway there. It's almost to the damp, you know, the cloth. So it smells so lovely. Don't you love the smell of fresh bread? Like either whether it's in the oven or if it's on the countertop or the dresser and rising, it smells so delicious. Like you don't really need a candle in your cottage when you've got bread about to go in the oven, do you? But anyway, so I wanted to, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted this video to be a bit about, not mindset work necessarily, you know, I'm always prattling on about that, but I really wanted to just have a little bit of a sit down and have a lovely conversation with you, so that we could little chin wag, how about that? So to see what's going on and what's happening in the cottage, what's happening with the Carter settlement, what's happening with my books, and all of those lovely bits. I've got to get my tea again, okay, darlings? And so yeah, so isn't that, I don't know if, let's see if we can get it close up without it, but it's the manor house, and the teapot looks exactly like that. And I wish it's up there. I wish I could, maybe I'll show it to you in a photograph or something, because it's so cute and so lovely. It's got that cute little spout on it, you know. That's the one that I picked out and designed because I really wanted it to be like fat and plump. And I love the shape of my Brown Betty. Like, I see how the little spout kind of flares up and out. I love that. I think it's so charming. So I wanted my teapots to be like that as well, that had my art on them. So yeah, so I've had them, I don't know, quite a bit of time, but they've been stored away because you know, when you have a bit of a sore in your, like on your gum, from having too much citrus, that's what happens. So that's why I sound a bit weird, like when I'm talking, because you know, it hurts a bit. They love my tea, but they get hyper, you know. Darling, you can't have it. Okay, so that's a bit of what's been going on for the tea room, right? It's called Mrs. Threadgood's tea room. Oh, I wanted to share a bit about what happened. Do you recall that I was planning to redo my entire website, which I did. It's still, I just haven't made it live yet because there's still so many things that have not come together. And I'll talk a bit about, this has to do with a bit of mindset as work as well, because I went on this when Prudence passed away. Remember when Prudence, like, it was my fault. I put too much flea treatment on her, and it was just too much. And something happened, and I know that that's happened to people before because I read it afterwards, because I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was a most horrible, wretched affair that it made me completely depressed for like an entire week, because I just was like, I murdered my kitten. And I know it wasn't meant, I didn't mean to do it, but I was severely so upset with myself, and it was really an eye-opening experience, to be quite frank. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's not talk about that, because that's a bit dreary and downtrodden, and I don't want to go there today. But what was I talking about? Off and then wait until I can figure it out. Okay, darlings, I recall what I was talking about. I had to go back and look at the video. I was talking about my website. So yes, I completely finished the entire thing, like designing it and doing the colors and all of that sort of thing, typography and all of that. However, I'm so anal retentive that if it's this Virgo in me, to where, I mean, what is Virgo? I think it's my 7th house. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it's all about, I can't remember some of this stuff. I'm learning, okay, about astrology. And, but I've noticed that is where the Virgo aspect of me, like the aesthetic, is very, very important to me. Like, I'm very, very particular. So that is the Virgo aspect of and I can't remember what house that's in, but like I said, my sun sign, you darlings know this already. My sun sign is Pisces, my moon sign is Cancer, so 2 water signs, and then I'm Sagittarius rising. And so I don't know what that means. I'm learning still. I mean, I do basically know what those 3 things mean, you know, my ascension and all of that, but when it comes to like branding and colors and all of that sort of thing, I've been learning all of that because I took a course for it. And when I was creating my website, which it's beautiful, and I love the aesthetic and it's very Victorian, but I still am struggling with the moving bits and parts of it because I'm not really a fan. I've got to be honest, I'm not really a fan of it. And so, yeah, I've went back to just leaving it on the blogger, but it's getting the job done, okay? I have to remember, because this is something that I wanted to chat with you about, and you might want to do it as well, because it's been very, very lovely experience for me. So as you know, darling friends of mine, I'm very much always working and doing hypothesis and studying and testing, systematically testing law of assumption, law of attraction, manifesting, and all of these kind of things. So when my mind gets to going and I'm constantly working, I'm in work mode of, because I don't look at it like a lifestyle. I mean, obviously I do, but I also look at it like a certain way of me, my life purpose of teaching and helping women, right? So I'm always testing things like a guinea pig, you know, because I really want to figure out things. I've very much been that way my entire life. That's just how I work. I'm constantly thinking about things like that. So as well, you can understand, as a woman, as a person that's into manifesting, I've been into it at least a decade now, okay? But not only just knowing about it, but really becoming an expert, like a massive skilled master at manifesting. It can take a toll on you. Now, and Pisces are we're the 12th house cycle of that sign, right? So we have all of those signs in the zodiac within us. So it's the completion, right? And a Pisces becomes extremely involved in that if you're anything like me, right? And my life purpose is to help women to never have to experience things that I've experienced. At least if you're experiencing them or you're having gone through those things in your life, I want you to be able to have a way to get out of it quickly, to know, okay, this is what you do, a systematic way of helping women in their lives, because we're all into wanting to live that fairy tale life, aren't we? And so therefore it wears on me psychologically, and it wears on me emotionally and physically as well, but it becomes draining, okay? And so, and if you talk to any kind of teacher, expert, and that sort of thing too, you know that they probably have also experienced that. You don't want to get burned out. So I'm getting to the point, okay? I like to prattle. So I go 20 times around the bend and then I come back around. So you have to understand, that's just how I am. If you like a good prattle, you're going to love my channel. If not, you're going to be like, no thank you. All she does is talk, talk, talk. And so yes, I love to talk. But it's not just trivial, you know, I'm teaching here. But anyway, I want it to be a bit entertaining too as well. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I'm bored stiff, I can't bear to watch her. I want to, you know, scratch your eyes out or something. You know, I say gnaw my arm off if someone's so boring. I'm just like, oh my God, get on with it, please, darling. So I decided 2 months ago that I was going to follow the flow. And if you've been on my Instagram, you know I've just following my bliss. Every day, anytime I think about wanting to manifest something. Now, obviously, I'm doing the imprinting of my subconscious mind, rewiring my brain. I'm always constantly working on that. That is never a thing that goes out the way. I do SATs. Those are my favorite things. SATs is I would have to say, my most successful way of how to manifest, and also rewiring the subconscious mind through sleeping with affirmations throughout the night. Now, I've been doing that for 3 years. So, and you're like, oh dear God, she's been doing it 3 years and you're still where you are. No, you don't understand. I've nearly completely become a absolutely different person. Like even my mom was saying the other day, like 2 days ago, she was like, Raquel, you're not even the same person. Like, you look the same and everything, but you aren't the same person at all. And I'm like, I know. Like, that's rewiring your subconscious brain. Now, the normal person isn't going to look at me and go, oh my God, like, she achieved all of her, like, yeah, I've manifested like nearly every single thing that I've wanted, you know? And so, but understandably, when you're manifesting and you're having all of these dreams, Your manifestations are going to come to where it seems absolutely natural to you. You're not going to have like a whirlwind and your entire life changes. Now, some aspects of your life will change and you'll be like, oh, she's obviously in a different house. She's obviously in a different state. Like if you move or you're manifesting, you know, you want to live in the dream country that you desire, or, you know, all of these bits and bobs. I love bits and bobs. Isn't that so cute and charming to say? I love the turn of phrase. It's so lovely, especially the Victorians. Like reading the Victorian literature all the time helps me to think of all those turns of phrase, and I just love them. However, anyway, let me get back to it, darlings. So I wanted to manifest following my bliss. So if something seemed hard or difficult, you know, for example, I wanted doing the website, okay? I realized that there was days that like the coloring wasn't coming out, or then I went back to it the next day and the entire thing had auto defaulted back to the original color of the website. So I had to contact the designer and tell her and she's got to go in and work the inner dealings of it. And I started to realize this is becoming absolutely asinine. It's driving me up the wall and I'm not doing it. So I finally decided, I was like, you know what, if I'm thinking this is a hell yes, then I'm doing it. If I'm thinking this is a hell no, I'm not doing it. Because manifesting and living our lives, everything should be ease and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. We should be able to follow our bliss and everything just works out perfectly. Oh, we get into the car park and it's like, oh, I've got a perfect spot right in the front of the store. Oh, we went to the charity shop and I found exactly what I was looking for, a candlestick holder, and it's exactly what I wanted for the exact pounds that I wanted, and it was there waiting for me. That is what manifestation, successful manifestation should be. If you're trying to work arduously, everything seems to be like, oh my God, this is difficult, this is difficult, this is difficult. Then you know what, darling, it's not meant to be in that moment. And I know this world is a very like, ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. We're going to get it done, get it done, get it done. Oh, go to the hardware store. Let's have it done. And that's the thing with the world. And also I wanted to preface this because there's so many women on Instagram that DM me and that email me and message me. And they are constantly troubled, literally troubled. And I completely have empathy for them because I have sympathy for them as well, you know, because I understand what that feels like when you're comparing yourself to other people, especially these women that have social media platforms and they're rising in the numbers and they're getting all of the dreams. It seems it's right there in your face and you're like, oh, I want that. You know what I mean? I used to feel that way constantly, and that's why I would always restructure my life, and I would leave Instagram and I would delete my accounts and I would start again 3 months later when I felt like I had a little bit going, you know, and I was a strong-witted person. But until I changed my subconscious mind and rewired my brain, it always came back. It might become dormant for a time being, but it's always going to resurface, darling, when someone triggers or touches on your wounds. That if you have not repaired that within yourself, my dear mermaid hearts, it's going to resurface. Hopefully that once you rewire your brain and rewire your mindset and your subconscious mind and have new beliefs, that those things will no longer, like I look on Instagram all the time and I see all of those things, you know, but you know, oh, my dear friend, she lives in England. Oh, she lives in the countryside. Oh, she lives near Hilltop. Oh, But do you think I'm jealous or I get envious of that? Not anymore, because my mindset has changed. I don't even have those thoughts anymore. And this is why I'm such an advocate for you, dear darling souls, of you change your subconscious belief system by rewiring your brain. And all you're doing is sleeping with beliefs on. It's you talking and repeating, and it's a repeat on repeat on a voice recorder. And so I'm writing currently a post for the blog, for the Ye Olde blog, that will help you to know that you can exactly go to that link and you can get that, you know, those headphones. I pulled my hair. If you want to get those particular things to sleep with. Now, I've made my own that's Victorian and old-fashioned, and if you would like to purchase one of those, now it will be it's a little bit more expensive than ones, because it's made in the bonnet, you know, it's made in a little bonnet, so you look so cute when you're going to night. You look like a Little House on the Prairie, you know, where they used to wear the nightcaps. So that's what I look like every night when I'm wearing my nightcap. But not everyone wants to be so ridiculous like me, but I'm just telling you, it's an option if you would like to purchase one of those beautiful little nightcaps. And I've put the little earbuds inside the little nightcap, so you're wearing it and you don't know, and you can hook it to your phone and it's wireless and everything, and then you can listen to your affirmations. It's like an old-fashioned way, but a modern twist to it. Do you understand? Isn't that so charming and cute? And but anyway, so I've just been following my bliss every day, and it's been so lovely because everything just flows and everything is just coming in and everything is just so much more relaxed. So I did that for like 30 days, and I thought, oh my God, it works so wonderfully well that I thought I'm going to follow my bliss and do it again on the next month and see what all my manifestations, because I have like a manifestation book, and so I'm always, you know, jotting down and always, you know, transcribing all of these things that are happening with these manifestations, and what happens if there's resistance, what's causing that, and where my mind is in that moment, what kind of thoughts I was having and what is creating that, so that I can help you to become the greatest version of yourself, you great mermaids of the world. And that's why I created Stillwater, you know, the reimagined from Tasha Tudor, and it's called, I trademarked it, but it's called Stillwater, a petticoat society. And that's why in October, that's what I wanted to share with you. In October, here at the cottage, I'm going to have a little, like a festival, not a festival, you wouldn't say that, it's like a social gathering, but it's only for less than 10 women. And we are going to do autumnal themes, and it's going to be based around, obviously, an old-fashioned lifestyle, but we'll have tea and we'll have just, I mean, lovely bits. It's going to be an extraordinary event, and I'm starting small because it has to be at the cottage, and until I can figure out what else to do as far as having a venue, because the atmosphere is essential to me. I don't want to have it in like a hole or something like that. I'm not doing it. I'd rather have it in my teeny eensy weensy cottage, and you know, you just grin and bear it and realize, yeah, it's a bit snug in here. It's like a little chipmunk's nest, but it's cozy and it's quaint and it's charming, and I'm doing the best that I can, you know. This is a non-profit that I'm working on, my bequest, and and whereas there are massive amounts of things to do, you know, purchasing the property, having the property redone and rezoned and all of that, like it's a lot of stuff. So that is why, like, my non-profit, the Carter Settlement, is based on, you know, donations and charitable things and all of that, you know, and the rest of the portions that I'm bringing in is my income from selling my books and selling my paintings and selling my goods from the Carter Mercantile, you know, which I'll have on my blog, but it'll also eventually be a place that you can come and we can have tea at Mrs. Threadgood's English tea room. And Mrs. Threadgood is based on the tale of the Christmas bunnies. That is who in the Christmas Bunnies literally owns the tea room. She runs the tea room, Mrs. Threadgood. Mr. Threadgood is the head gardener of the Corcoran Manor House, which is that entails this whole story about wishes coming true and manifesting and all of that. And it's about Mrs. Threadgood gets gifted these beautiful little Christmas bunnies, which, you know, are my bunnies that, you know, that I had, you know, Sir Oliver Twisty Topsy, Chappie, and Mr. Sir Buckaroo. Now we know we have lost Mr. Twisty Topsy, Oliver, and we've also lost Buckaroo, but we still have Chappie. And anyway, it's based on that, and it's Victorian, and it's a story very much like, once again, Beatrix Potter. So that will be wonderful. That comes out October 7th, so I wanted to get it out a bit early, and it's celebratory of Mr. Threadgood, because that's Mr. Threadgood's birthday is October 7th. So that's why I'm doing it and dedicating it to Mr. Threadgood. And but anyway, so see how all my stories are from real life. They're from my real life, and that's why I think they're so lovely, and so they'll be so historical, you know, so lovely to cherish and to carry on the culture settlement and my name and my work. And so I'm very excited about that. So we put a picket fence up around Scarlet Rose Cottage, and we're working on the trellis and all of that now, and some wildflowers, because for the autumnal, the social gathering we're going to have here, I want to see if we can somehow get something along to go with the pumpkin, so it will be very fallish, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's what's going on here. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's where I'm most social, and I hope that you will join me over there and swim along with me, because it's quite fun. And as always, I'm most affably yours till my next swim. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.